football, meat pies, kangaroos and Holden cars. You don't need to remember the 70s jingle to know that Holden thinks it's Australia's own. But there's a new Lion badge vehicle that reckons it's perfect for our quintessential outdoor lifestyle. It's Holden's first lifestyle four-wheel drive and it's called Captiva. Lifestyle four-wheel drives, or SUVs as Americans like to call them, are popular all over the world. They appeal to buyers who want their neighbours to think they're being adventurous even if they rarely go off-road. And Australia is no exception. Nearly a fifth of all passenger cars and four-wheel drives sold in Australia are either compact four-wheel drives or mid-sized four-wheel drives. So it's no wonder Holden's been desperate to get this car. But if the quintessential Aussie car is about good handling, roominess and effortless motoring, what are we to make of a car that was built in Korea? Yes, the bad news is that a Captiva comes from the same GMW that brought us the Holden badge Viva and Barina. And let's be frank, they were both rubbish. But the good news is that unlike those two mediocre small cars, is that Holden had much more of a say in the Captiva. Holden engineers tuned the chassis, power comes from a Holden built V6 engine, and it was even designed by an Aussie. Now, one of the things you notice straight away is that the steering is beautifully light and accurate. It's so much better than the heavy steering in that jacked up Commodore wagon called the Adventurer, which would give your mum biceps bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger's. And around town, the V6 feels really keen, responding immediately to short prods from your right foot. You also notice, however, that the ride is very firm, and you feel like you're driving off-road even when you're on bitumen. Get to some corners though, and the stiffer suspension works well in keeping body roll to a minimum. But even with the input of Aussie engineers, the handling is safe rather than great, even for a four-wheel drive. But as a four-wheel drive, well, it must love hills. Maybe not. The main problem is that not only does the engine have less power and torque than a Commodore, but the Captiva also weighs more than a Commodore, and that's a bad combination. So the same engine and automatic transmission that are respectfully refined while cruising around town or on flat freeways start to lose the plot at the slightest hint of an uphill gradient, or when you want to overtake quickly. The gearbox is always hunting for gears and it never shifts down as fast as you want it to, and pressing the accelerator harder just makes the engine go all coarse and nasty. It would drive me mad on a long distance Aussie road trip. Now, if the Captiva fails in the effortless motoring and great handling stakes, it does get a big tick for roominess and practicality. There are large door pockets for big water bottles. There's a good sized glove box, and there's also plenty of room for adults in all 5 seating positions. And if that's not enough, hidden under the rear cargo floor is this very useful wet-dry storage area. But the best part about a Captiva is that it's priced from just $35,990 or $38,990 if you want extra row of seats in the back. So it's a good car at a good price, but the Holden Captiva is about as Australian as this presenter.